Today, you're going to apply your knowledge of addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division to sort and solve two-step word problems. Before we get started on the task, take a look at this visual. It's a container full of cupcakes. The little red thing on the top is a cherry. What are some mathematical questions we can come up with based on this visual? One of the first ones that comes to mind is, how many cupcakes are there? Another mathematical question could be, if I eat 3 cupcakes, how many are left? There are plenty of other mathematical questions we can come up with using this visual. Now, if we were to solve for one, we could individually count all of our cupcakes, or you might notice that this looks very similar to an array, where there are some equal groups, and we could use multiplication. You notice there's 1, 2, 3, 4 rows, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 columns. In order to solve my second question, if I eat 3 cupcakes, how many are left? I would have to solve for my first question. Well, how many cupcakes are there total? This is a two-step problem where we need to do multiplication first and then subtraction. You can solve it in many different ways, and that's what we're going to be focused on today. Your first step is going to be to cut out all of these different story problems. After you cut them out, you're going to put them into two different categories. Either the problem involves equal groups or arrays, or the problem does not involve equal groups or arrays. After you put them in those two columns, then you'll solve for each story problem. Let me show you an example. Let's read this first problem together. A carnival worker had 125 red balloons and 75 green balloons. On Saturday, he sold 65 balloons. How many balloons did the carnival worker have left over? So my first task is to sort it. Does it involve equal groups or does it not? And in this case, there are no equal groups. We have some red, we have a different number of green, and then we sold a different number. So this would go into does not involve equal groups category. Then I would solve. Remember, in order to solve these problems, we're going to have to do two different steps. My first step would be to add my two balloons, my two different colored balloons, and then I would subtract how many I sold. Let's look at this problem. A baking company ordered 650 bags of sugar. They used 175 bags of sugar to make cupcakes and 326 bags of sugar to make pies. How many bags of sugar does the company have left over? Are there any equal groups here? No, same thing. We would need to first add these two numbers, the bags of sugar, and then the bags for the pies, or for the sugar for the cupcakes, and then sugar for the pies, and then we subtract it from 360. There are other problems in this problem set that involve equal groups. Let me try to find one for you. Let's see. Let me scoot it over. Okay, here we go. A grocer packed 4 boxes of 7 oranges and 5 more oranges. How many did he pack in all? So 4 boxes have 7 oranges, and then there's 5 more oranges. So this is an equal group because there are 4 boxes with 7 equal oranges. So this would go into the other column, and then you would solve. Remember, it needs 2 steps to solve this problem.